But we sit up here and we gotta get an understanding of something here. How was Hassan Campbell put in this position? He's put in this position, why? Afrika Bambaataa. Everybody in the hip-hop world, you guys act like you are afraid. No one outside of the publicity, shade rooms, and places like this even speak on it. It's like y'all don't care. And at no way am I swaying in the decisions of Hassan making, but I'm giving you the understanding that there are some young men that can get this happen to them and their life can go in this direction. That's why if there's a young man today or tomorrow that has been molested or harmed by someone, they must come forward. Reach out to King Gurner. Give me an understanding of what's going on. If your mother or if your father or somebody around you, your homies, or people that you know in your community, like Afrika Bambaataa community, that sat up there and knew that he was molesting these children, but yet want to keep quiet. To me, that mind boggles me. And then it gives me an outlook on what I am doing. Like, it's like, King Gurner, you're helping the youth. I think with the snitching thing, you have went on a hell of a journey, and you gave understanding to the youth that you shouldn't go in this direction. But King Gurner, have you really tapped into an Afrika Bambaataa? So the people can get a clarity and understand that this guy name should be removed from hip-hop, but yet they're going on promoting him more than anything. The same way they promote anything else as if he's solid as a rock. I don't care how you speak. You cannot speak good of an individual who took advantage of children. And lots of them. And then you get an understanding who Hassan Campbell is. So you see his mistakes and you say, should this man go to some type of psych to prove to the world that these things aren't bothering him? Whatever the case may be. Because the conversations that, the things that he claimed about, let me back up some. They're saying that the things that he's claiming to be a part of or he ever dealt in, they're saying, guess what? It's not true. They say they have paperwork. And you know, King Gurner is the king of paperwork. But this type of guy, I don't think there needs no paperwork. Numerous of times he have said different things that go in the cop direction. A man held a gun outside of his home and told the police he just found it. So, you know, I don't know what community he lives in, and it looked a little okay, but at the end of the day, you have to explain that the community I come from. You have to explain it, because you're not just turning something over. You got this from somewhere, you kidding you. This is what the real people are going to flip it on you if you really carried it the way he carried it in his lifetime, as he said, all the murders and things of this nature. We got to get understanding of these characters. See, King Gurner is so forward, everybody's trying to figure him out. But it comes up, his faults is his faults. And through the grace of Allah, he make sure that his faults becomes the forgiveness of his sins from not only Allah, but to the people also, to a certain degree. For certain things, you can't carry it with dishonor. These guys are afraid to come forth because the things they are accused of is pure dishonor. And King Gurner is raising treason against these kittens. I have to. This is an all-out war. And it's a war of dishonor versus honor. And guess what? It has to be honor versus dishonor, and we will be, because at the end of the day, Stop Recycling Crime explains this in the purest of form. Section 1, it gives you clear understanding that an individual grew up in the streets, claimed to be shoot 'em up, bang, bang, gets locked up. You know what he does? Instead of him getting a time like everybody else, even going to trial, even going past the arrest, he says, I'm going to tell on so-and-so, and guess what they do? The government allowed them to do? To keep on telling. To keep on telling back and forth. That's recycling the crime. They're allowing it. Then it's the ones that we allow. Solid men like myself, been in and out of the can. But we can't stay away from it. We got to chase the dollar. We got to chase the fast life. But then you get an understanding after being back, because you've been recycling crime in your negative form for some time, except you're not a squill. You're of honor, and you know better. So that last bit, you caught it and said, you know what, I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do. Some become truckers. Some become duckers, don't want to be bothered. And some become individuals that want to add and help to the community, such as myself. Those should be honored, and it's not a gossip thing. It's an honor thing. We're trying to get people to understand it. We're not getting on the phone with men and talking about other men 24/7. but supposed to be winning. We're not carrying it like that. We're carrying it with honor. We're carrying it in respect of understanding that we're nothing like these guys. The circle of honor, conversation of men. We're talking Leak Moss bringing this app to the forefront. We're talking about people getting an understanding of what we're really speaking. We're talking about people knowing the type of people Nipsey Hussle was. People getting real understanding. They disrespecting Nip like he wasn't who he say he was. They talking bad about Nip. That whack has went too far, and guess what? He swallowed himself. I didn't even have to keep on his neck. And youngins, you're going to follow that. Not every war you're going to have to fight. Sometime a law is going to fight your reward in a way that the destiny comes out of it. That damn, they had to go through it, and I didn't. I backed out. I'm King Earner from the Honor Your Life campaign. I can preach to y'all what I tell y'all because I've been through it, and I stood solid when most of these dudes took the other route. They can't put that route on King Earner. You know why? Because King Earner stood on 10 toes, solid ground. I kept the standard, man. We got to free the men, those who have stood solid on solid ground. And we got to make sure the ones who stood on solid ground like Nipsey Hussle rest always in peace. I'm not an individual that's going to ever sit up here and talk bad about a solid man. So my love and my honor go out to his family. It's not about clout chasing or famous and all that. It's about keeping a standard on the honor that's supposed to be understood. And Nip honor ain't never been wavy or shaky. King Earner live and direct. And I saw him active on camera, like putting his hands on a security guard and all that. Some of that, y'all have to have 1 million people with y'all. We already know, especially from Cali. Don't talk that y'all be having to be ganged up now. For him to be a part of that gang and stood on solid ground as a man, for what he believed in, I respect that. King Earner life and direct. Let that man rest in honor.